sponsored by All Weather Heating and Cooling.
Head to WRDW.com/morning mix to win a morning mix mug.
And catch the mix Wednesday and Friday mornings to see if you're a winner. Enter today.
The weather. It's something that affects us all every day. From sunny to severe and anything in between. This is why we First Alert.
Aiken, you can't handle the roof.
At Parker's Kitchen, we go big. Our catfish sandwich. It's huge, bigger than the bun, with an extra large serving of Parker's signature sauce at Parker's Kitchen. Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 live at 5.
Good evening on this Good Friday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Anderson. A hot and dry Easter weekend ahead. Mikkel, weather will not be an issue for all these Easter egg hunts.
That's right, Meredith. We'll see a few more clouds by Sunday, but outside of that, not much of a difference in between Saturday and Sunday. It's going to feel even noticeably warmer by tomorrow, as we do see those temperatures in the upper 80s by tomorrow. So it's a beautiful day outside. You can see plenty of blue sky looking over Grovetown right now. 84 degrees, a south-southwest wind at 11, so a light breeze out there. A little bit of humidity. We're looking at dew points in the 50s, so that's definitely not dry. And we're talking about the radar network here, looking at this front that's setting up to our north and west, and is going to continue to slowly inch its way towards our region as high pressure begins to move further east into the Atlantic through this weekend. We're looking at low temperatures by tomorrow morning, near 60 for the wake up, so it'll definitely be a nice feel for tomorrow morning. Cool, not crisp though. It'll be a little bit muggy out there, and then we'll see temperatures in the upper 80s by the afternoon. So those Easter egg hunting plans and any outdoor plans this weekend are going to be on the high side if you handle those after midday for sure. We're looking at your weekend forecast though in general, and even through Easter Sunday, still looking at upper 80s out there, and our mornings are staying near 60. So above average lows and highs as we do continue through the weekend into next week. And again, Easter Sunday, a little bit more cloud cover out there, so it'll be a degree or two cooler than our Saturday, but still looking hot, and a nice cool start that turns into a pretty hot afternoon. We'll look more at the potential for some storm chances by next week coming up.
All right, thanks, Mikkel. Flowers, balloons, Teddy. New information tonight after a deadly bus crash just 2 hours away. The Chester County Coroner's Office confirms 13-year-old Jose Maria Gonzalez Linares died in that crash. Now, this is drone video from our sister station in Charlotte over I-77 in Chester County. That's up there near Charlotte. Emergency crews say 11 people were sent to the hospital, 5 in critical condition. Lexington County school leaders say students from Pine Ridge Middle were coming home from a field trip when a tire blew, causing the driver to lose control. The bus then crashed into a guardrail and overturned.
And I saw the bus flipped over. They were speeding and all that, and teachers were trying to get off the bus, trying to help people on that other bus that was flipped over.
Now, the bus was carrying 2 adults and roughly 35 students when this accident happened. Uncertainty tonight for more than 1,500 students at Limestone University. The school in Gaffney, South Carolina, about 50 miles northeast or so of Greenville, could shut down for good. As Amanda Shaw explains, things are happening fast.
Wednesday started just like any other day.
You know, everything was going about normal, like we were getting ready for the next season because I play soccer.
But a text came late morning telling students to meet for an announcement.
We heard speculations about it, but it was really crazy to hear it come out of his mouth because we were hoping for something better.
University officials say they're $30 million in debt. The financial challenges stemming from enrollment decline, rising costs, and structural pressures facing small private institutions. In order to stabilize operations, they need $6 million, which they don't have. President Nathan Copeland, who was hired only 10 months ago, says securing funding has been a priority.
We have been working to raise money, look at partnership opportunities, and think outside of the box in ways that we would be able to close the gap. Unfortunately, we were not able to make that happen.
They're planning to switch to a fully online operation, ceasing all campus activities, including athletics, at the end of the spring semester. Eventually, they'll put campus property on the market for sale. Currently, Limestone has 300 employees that could face layoffs and 1,000 students currently studying on campus that would be impacted. Despite the speculation, students say the real shock was how sudden the news came, as the end of the semester is just weeks away.
Next thing you know, they're telling you, sorry, we're closed. Like, it's hard to process. and it was really like, it was like a movie, like just everyone's faces dropped.
I thought it was a joke at first. Like, I didn't really understand like why they would shut down.
You see people crying, you see people with like a awe look, like it really just everybody's heart dropped to the floor when they heard.
The non-denominational Christian University was the first women's college in South Carolina, opening in 1845. Men were admitted in the late 1900s, but even alums say the financial strain isn't a new concern.
There was probably always a worry in my head for sure, but it just kind of hit a little bit different.
A hit to staff, students, and administration.
As Limestone is a Christian institution, I'm a man of faith. I have to believe that this is all part of God's plan, but I don't understand it. I'm just moving forward with the next right thing.
The Board of Trustees will officially vote next Tuesday. The school is only about 3 hours away, so of course this could impact some local students. Tonight, the fate of some international students. South Carolina's Attorney General is calling on state lawmakers to pass a bill he says will help keep more kids safe from online predators. The clock is ticking, though, because the legislature has less than a month to get it done. Your State House reporter Mary Green has the details.
South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson says this is a common sense bill that would cut administrative red tape to ultimately protect kids.
It makes it easier, it makes it more efficient, it makes it quicker for us to go after child predators. We're trying to keep up with the bad guys, and unfortunately there's a lot of them out there.
When investigators are looking into people they believe are uploading or downloading child sex abuse material from the internet, the information that's available to them is typically only an IP address. That's a unique identifying number that every device connected to the internet has. To get an internet service provider to hand over the name of the person and the physical address associated with that IP address, investigators need a subpoena. And right now, they can only get that through the U.S. Attorney's Office. This bill would allow South Carolina's Attorney General to also sign off on those subpoenas, so investigators can then seek warrants for the actual devices.
When you talk about hundreds of cases that are backlogged, those times add up over a period of time. And so it can be very cumbersome to have to send it down the street and then wait a couple of weeks and then get it back and then you can go. Well, we can just sign them off right here.
Republican Senator Greg Henry filed the legislation at Wilson's request. He says it gives the Attorney General another tool to fight a crime that's all too frequent.
This is not granting some sort of new authority to law enforcement. It doesn't. It really is just a matter of convenience and speed.
This bill has already passed in the Senate and now awaits a debate on the House floor. If it passes there, it heads to the governor's desk. But lawmakers have just 3 weeks to get that done before time runs out in this year's legislative session. Reporting from the State House, I'm Mary Green.
Wilson notes this change would not infringe on anyone's due process rights because investigators would still need to seek warrants to seize devices and then get into them. We are just 2 days away from Easter, and there are lots of fun events planned. Stick around. We'll tell you where you and your family can enjoy some local fun when we come back. And Mikkel, the weather looks perfect for them.
Definitely, it's just going to be a little hot out there, but if you like hot, maybe that's fine. So we're looking at temperatures in the upper 80s, but dry for sure, so that's good. And we'll talk about your forecast looking ahead to next week coming up.
Time and Temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
This is not you.
It's not me.
What's with all the goats? Oh, don't worry. You're getting one too. But why goats? Goat. George's outstanding attorney team?
After you've been injured in a car crash, call George Sink Injury Lawyers and get the GOAT on your side. Hurt? Call all nines now.
Augusta University Health System is now Wellstar, affiliated with Medical College of Georgia, which means you get more. More personalized care, more compassionate expertise. Wellstar, more than healthcare, people care.
Live at 5, you still have time to make it out to the Food Truck Family Fridays in Hepzibah. It just got started about 15 minutes ago. It goes until 9 o'clock tonight. There are 30 food trucks. You can see lots of vendors there on site. Plus, there are bounce houses for the kids. It's located at 4104 Windsor Spring Road, and in case you're wondering where that is, it is where Windsor Spring Road, pretty close to where it intersects with Tobacco Road. But a lot of space out there and a lot more time to get out there, Mikkel. The really good night to get out and grab some food, and maybe if that's not your scene, baseball could be your scene. So there's just a lot going on because the weather's cooperating.
That's right, Meredith, and it's going to be a beautiful evening for any outdoor plans. Very mild for sure, and definitely wouldn't mind being at the Food Truck Festival to get some good food right about now. We're looking at this front behind me, still way off to our west, so not going to give us any impacts until next week as it continues to slowly creep closer to us as high pressure begins to move further into the Atlantic this weekend. But as Meredith mentioned, we do have the Green Jackets baseball series continuing tonight against the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. They're wearing their Azalea jerseys tonight, and the first 1,000 fans do get a free Azaleas blanket. So gates open at 7:05, temperatures around 80 for first pitch, or first pitch is at 7:05. Gates likely open before that, but we're looking at those temperatures cool and clear as that game begins to wrap up in the 60s and waking up in the upper 50s to near 60 for tomorrow morning. So a mild feel this evening, cooler for tomorrow morning, and we'll definitely see a hot day for Saturday after a cool start, a couple of clouds, and then we'll look at more sunshine for the afternoon before we could see more clouds returning late Saturday into our Sunday. So temperatures running above average, about 10 degrees through this weekend, and you can see even looking ahead to Easter Sunday, we're going to keep those temperatures in the upper 80s, but keeping the forecast dry, even though more cloud cover is expected by Easter Sunday. As far as the pollen forecast, we are looking at elevated levels of pollen sticking around into the middle of next week as well. So definitely want to limit your time outdoors if you have any bad allergies, and we're also looking at grass pollen being an issue as well for us. As far as looking at the jet stream, though, we do have upper level ridge that's building in for this weekend. So that's what's really promoting these warm temperatures here at the surface. You can see Augusta, one of the warmer spots in the southeast out of everyone at 88 compared to low 80s in New Orleans and Tallahassee. As we continue towards Sunday, we'll continue to look at some of these oranges and reds indicating elevated heights in the jet stream. You can see what a dip does as places like Omaha are in the 40s for the weekend during the spring. So could be worse for us, but definitely above average, and we'll keep those temperatures about 10 degrees above average through our Monday. As far as looking at the UV index, also going to be elevated here in the next 48 hours and even into Monday, Tuesday, as we see cloud cover building. Still going to be able to see that UV radiation penetrating through the clouds. So I would recommend sunscreen, especially this weekend, if you'll be outdoors for an extended period of time. Even Monday, Tuesday, still looking at high levels of UV radiation possible. The sunset is also getting later as we continue towards June. We had our first 8 p.m. sunset about 2 nights ago. Sun sets tonight at 8:02, and then we're not going to see another sunset around 8 p.m. until August 27th. So we're gaining daylight every day as we continue towards that June 22nd date. And summer officially starts on June 20th, marked by the summer solstice. We're looking at rain chances, though, Tuesday, Wednesday. So next week we'll see rain chances gradually increasing as we head through the beginning to middle of next week. But for the next 48 to 72 hours, we're looking at plenty of sunshine in the forecast, not much cloud cover, and even Sunday, as we see a few more clouds out there, ultimately could end up being more of a partly cloudy than mostly cloudy day for us. But plenty of 80s in the forecast, and our mornings stay pretty seasonal near 60.
All right, thanks for that, Mikkel. And as we inch closer to Easter, there are more family-friendly events happening this weekend. Tomorrow, the CSRA RACA is hosting an Easter event. That's from 1 to 3 p.m. in its building in Deering. There will be eggs, activities, music, and a photo booth. The event is for kids ages pre-K through 5th grade. Also tomorrow, the Warren Road Community Center is hosting a free Easter egg hunt. That's from 2 to 5. There will also be bounce houses, train rides, and vendors. The Salvation Army Croc Center, Believers First Baptist Church in Rennes, and We Got This Augusta are also hosting Easter events. Scan the flow code on your screen for the times and locations of those. We have done all the homework for you. Lots going on this weekend. It is National Lineman Appreciation Day. Coming up, ways you can say thank you.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group. Life's busy. Off is not an option. You need to be on time, on the go, on the call, or just ready to play on. Life's waving. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today. Can you see the difference?
Today, you should thank a line worker for their service. It is National Lineman Appreciation Day. Not only do we rely on them for their power, it's also no easy job, and it can be dangerous at times. This is video of a general foreman all the way from Texas and a local honorary lineman named Ryan Dial. Devin Rockholt was in Augusta restoring power in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene when the young boy and his mother ran into him. I actually covered this story, and it was super inspirational to meet the two of them. Their relationship's so very special. Ryan called them lights because they brought light and they restored the lights. To every lineman, thank you for your service. I think we all appreciate you that much more after going through Hurricane Helene. Here are some things you can do to show your appreciation. You can tell them. I think a lot of us did that during Helene. You can also post on social media with the hashtag #ThankALineman and donate to a fallen lineman. I have posted this story for you on my Facebook page and TikTok. You can also check it out on our website if you want to see their sweet story. Tonight, wildlife are still finding their place after Hurricane Helene. The South Carolina Department of Natural Resources says the storm impacted more than 233,000 acres of forest habitat. Billy Dukes with DNR says these animals are good at rebuilding their homes with the new landscape, but he says a natural disaster is very different from industry coming in.
We're looking at hardscapes like concrete, roads, buildings, those type things. Essentially, those will never become wildlife habitat again in our lifetimes. So that is an outright loss of habitat as opposed to a change in habitat that we see from these natural disturbances.
If you do notice more animals in your backyard, maybe you'll see fewer of them. Duke says that is usually temporary due to animals readjusting to their new environment. I know I saw a lot fewer deer in my yard, but they have since returned. A traffic alert tonight and a live look at Top Golf Way and Riverwatch Parkway. Looking ahead to next Monday, Georgia DOT is shutting down parts of Riverwatch. Lane closures will be between Top Golf and the I-20 westbound off-ramp starting at 9 a.m. that day. Crews say the work should not take more than a day to complete, so it won't be too much of a inconvenience. You can expect delays and use caution as you drive through the area. Miguel.
Well, that's good for us, Mary. We got to go through that to get to work.
Yeah, we do.
As far as looking at the weekend forecast, we'll look at temperatures hot as we head towards the weekend, near 90. Your forecast comes up again next.
Go right.
Visit us in store and follow us on social to join in on the excitement. Queen City Home Store, where you're always home.
You still have time to make it out to the Columbia County Spring Fair. It's going on until 11 tonight at the Columbia County Fairgrounds. Admission is just $10. Unlimited rides, $25 today and $30 for the whole weekend. Children 5 and under get in free. The hours for tomorrow are noon to 11 and then 3:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Easter Sunday. Admission is free on Sunday. Unlimited rides are only $15 that day. The fair goes on until next Sunday. And Mikkel, usually when we think about the fair, we think about fall weather, cool weather. It's going to be kind of hot for a fair.
It is. Some of those metal seats could sting you a little bit if you get out there a little bit later after they've been baking in the sunshine. So it's going to be hot this weekend. Definitely dry, so that's not going to stop you from enjoying any outdoor activities. But I would encourage you to stay hydrated. Just because it's not summertime does not mean that we can't see heat-related illnesses if you're outside for too long without water. And we'll see temperatures near 90 through Easter Sunday into next week. We're looking at outside of our studios here on one side of the screen, Grovetown I-20 over here, but the common theme is not much cloud cover out there. We're looking at a front still way off to our west, and that doesn't really get to our area until the beginning of next week, and we'll see cloud cover increasing by then. But for now, high pressure remains in control. We do have Green Jackets baseball going on tonight at SRP Park, so definitely get out there and support them. First pitch at 7:05 as they continue their series against the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, and the first 1,000 fans get a free Azaleas blanket, so why not get out there early if you can. We're looking at temperatures around first pitch near 80, and as that game begins to wrap up, still expecting 60s to be in the forecast as we keep it relatively mild for tonight. We'll see temperatures near 60 by tomorrow morning, and then we'll continue to look at temperatures near 90 all the way through next week. Rain chances really hold off until about Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll see our highest threat for rainfall in between Wednesday, Thursday, looking a little bit drier by next Friday.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Mikkel. Looking more like summer. It feels like in spring. But hey, at least it'll be nice for Easter Sunday, Easter hunts.
Introducing the First Alert Radar Network.
With up to 10 times the resolution of other local radars and technology that can pinpoint right down to your street.
First just got faster. You've been an associate.
Growtown, you can't handle the roof.
At Parker's Kitchen, we go big, like our huge, crunchy, juicy, never frozen chicken tenders with an extra large serving of Parker's signature sauce. At Parker's Kitchen.
You're watching News 12 live at 5. Continues.
Good evening on this Good Friday, and thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Anderson. Want to take it now to your First Alert weather and First Alert meteorologist Mikkel Hannah Harding. It is a beautiful. All right, thanks, Mikkel. It's only a matter of time before people start to take to the streets of downtown Augusta for the weekend, and the Richmond County Sheriff's Office is buckling down on patrol. Your Sydney Hood sat down with the captain of the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. She joins us live at 5 in our newsroom as she explains how they are making sure you feel safe. Sydney.
Of course, the number one goal is the safety of everyone that lives, works, or visits downtown. The Sheriff's Office tells me they've been planning their summer plans for months because as it gets warmer and schools let out for the summer soon, you are going to see a lot of people going downtown. It's a welcome sight for most, but the Sheriff's Office says they'll increase their visibility during this time to have a presence, but also to send a message of safety.
We're going to see more foot traffic, more vehicle traffic. And normally, we already got 2 people per block. We may put an additional officer as well at some of the bars that may have, a larger crowd. So we kind of base it off the size of the crowds and where they're going. That's what we patrol.
Getting more deputies out and doubling up on patrol. Coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we break down what this means for you visiting downtown.
All right, thanks for that, Sydney. Definitely important stuff there. Flowers, balloons, Live at 5, a freeze on federal grants could force early childhood centers across Georgia to close their doors. The Head Start Early Childhood Program helps families who live below the federal poverty line. Your Georgia State House reporter Abby Kasouris explains who the budget cuts could impact the most.
Today I talked to a woman who runs a Head Start program in 10 counties. She did not want to be named for fear of retaliation, but she says without federal funding, they'll have to close their doors, and more than 10,000 children in Georgia will be without care. The Georgia Head Start Association represents 31 agencies in Georgia, providing services like child care and early education to over 25,000 low-income children up to 5 years old. It's a program that's been around since the 60s.
This is the first pathway for them to get out of poverty.
Leodicia C. grew up in Stewart County, where the poverty rate is double the state's average. She was the first person in her family to graduate from college with a bachelor's and a master's. She credits her success to Head Start.
Without having that early foundation of education, I don't want them to be in a situation where they are the first generation in history to be less educated than their previous generation.
The Associated Press released a budget draft from the White House, eliminating Head Start funding altogether. Just last month, the Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. visited a Head Start program in Virginia, calling his trip inspiring.
Very devoted, committed staff, and a lot of happy children.
Head Start offers health and learning screenings. It might be the first chance for parents to learn their child has a learning disability. Dr. Cecil Bennett says removing the program creates a group of have and have-nots based on financial means.
We won't realize the harm done today or tomorrow. It may be 5 or 10 years down the road.
The Georgia Budget and Policy Institute reports federal funding cuts would disproportionately affect rural parts of our state.
Families have come to rely on these, and to pull that safety net out is to put a big burden on those families and the state.
The National Head Start Association says that they are deeply alarmed by the administration's proposal, saying that cutting the program would be, quote, catastrophic. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Kasouris.
We're just 2 days away from Easter, and there are lots of fun events planned. Stick around. We'll tell you where you and your family can enjoy some local fun when we come back. It's going to be a little hot, though, Mikkel, but hey, I'll take that over cold and rainy any day.
That's right, Wrdw. It's going to be hot and also keeping it dry as we head through this weekend. So we'll take that. Just have to deal with the heat. We'll look at the forecast coming up.
Time and Temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
The weather, it's something that affects us all every day, from sunny to severe and anything in between. This is why we First Alert.
Do you want this one? I think this is my favorite. Okay, what do you think this one? When it's time for an update or complete remodel, Rebath is with you every step of the way.
Oh, is this going to be ready in time for the baby?
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,000 off your complete bathroom remodel. Watch your
Our First Alert commitment to you is the power of 5 meteorologists, all the tools, the latest technology, and the first team of 5 meteorologists. News 12's First Alert weather on your side.
You still have time to make it out to the Food Truck Family Fridays in Hephzibah. You're taking a live look at that now. It just got started a little bit ago. It goes until 9 o'clock tonight. There are 30 food trucks. You can see plenty of vendors on site. And yeah, parents, you see a bouncy house there. So get the kiddos nice and tired, right? This is located at 4104 Windsor Spring Road. That's right near where it intersects with Tobacco Road. And I mean, every time the camera turns, Mikkel, I think we're seeing a different angle and seeing different things. So lots to do out there, and looks like a good night to get out and grab some food.
Everyone's out there. Everybody has the right idea. I definitely wouldn't mind being out there to grab a plate.
Yeah, me neither.
As we hit the dinner hour here. So good forecast, though, for this evening. We're keeping it nice and mild. You can see it.
Breaking news live at 5. We have just learned the name of a victim in a suspicious death. The Richmond County Coroner's Office says it's 32-year-old Devon Shade. The Coroner's Office says they found him in a wooded area on McNutt Road yesterday. Officials say his body had been there for several days. Of course, we're working to learn more, and we will let you know as soon as we do. We're back in a bit.
First Alert.
More than 2.5 billion people use Google's Gmail. You might have been using it for more than a decade, and that makes you a target of scammers, spammers, and hackers. Gmail and Apple, they do a good job of filtering out scammy emails, but there is another way to avoid phishing attempts that's even easier. Our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker explains.
For all of its faults, email is necessary to communicate, but chances are your email inbox looks like this. Filled with marketing campaigns we don't care about, newsletters we never signed up for, and spam. Everywhere you go online, even in the real world, someone's asking for your email address. And rather than just giving it out to anybody, you need a dummy email address. The biggest perk of a dummy email address is that it helps keep your main inbox free of clutter and stuff you don't care about. That time you gave the kind salesperson at the clothing store your email address at the register, you no doubt gave them permission to send you regular emails. And just try unsubscribing to a newsletter you signed up for by giving them your email address. Scammy websites not only use your address to send you stuff, but they sell addresses they collect to other scammy websites. And if a cyber crook gets your primary email address, they could target you to steal your identity. And everyone's email has been caught in a data leak. If you get a dummy email address, use it anytime you're asked for it by someone other than work or personal contacts. You can sign up for a new Gmail account. Yahoo and Microsoft offer plans. Check out Proton Mail's free accounts. Proton is more private than Gmail and protects your data from going to third-party companies. In fact, you may want to switch your primary email address to Proton. And treat your primary email address as something special. Don't give it out to just anybody. Use that dummy email address to protect yourself. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
The average office worker receives more than 120 emails every day, and about 85% of those are spam. 9 out of 10 cyber attacks start with a phishing email. A South Carolina university that's been around since 1845 is shutting its doors, leading to shock and panic for the school's teachers, students, and student athletes. Your News 12 sports reporter Joseph Doring joins us now with more. Joseph.
Meredith, it's 15 of our CSRA athletes at Limestone University that are now scrambling to figure out what is next. Football season may be a ways out from now, but the clock is ticking for all of them. Not only does this news affect current Limestone athletes, it also impacts several high school athletes that already signed letters of intent this past year. For the current athletes, the obvious direction would be for them to hit the transfer portal. But with the news coming so deep into this month, the amount of options out there for the current Limestone athletes are running thin. Spring training is already in full swing at most schools.
Biggest thing is they didn't get a chance to go through spring ball with somebody else, to get their foot in the door that way. The good thing is there's a lot of D2 schools in the state. And, the Andersons and the Benedicts and some other schools, and there's plenty in North Carolina.
And while college football teams across the country are opting out of spring football games, South Carolina hopes to fill Willie B one last time before the fall. The annual Garnet and Black game signals the end of spring training for the Gamecocks football program, and this year may not be the greatest tool for predicting starters. Teams were drafted, everyone gets a rep, and the only way you can watch is by being there.
From a recruiting standpoint, if I'm a high school recruit, I love what we do in the spring game, and I love the competition and the energy and the fans that the players get to see on television, but we'll have so many players that'll be here in person for the spring game. I felt like it would be more beneficial for us from a recruiting standpoint to be able to put together a show that can highlight our program, and we can, if all of you guys are recruits for us, we can let you know when this show is coming on, and you can watch this and learn a lot about our football program, and probably be more impactful from a recruiting standpoint than watching a 2-hour spring game on television.
While eyes are on that freshman class, the Gamecocks had a number of transfers like quarterback Aaron Noland, running back Rashul Fison, and quarterback Brandon Sissy that hope to make a splash. We'll be back after a short break.
Life isn't a whisper. It's a roar. It's about getting your hands dirty, taking risks that thrill, and planning the adventure that awaits the next day. Life is a precious, playful thing, which means it's our job to explore it, to nurture it, and preserve it. But also, to let loose and enjoy it. Riverbank Zoo and Garden. Live a wild life.
Every day brings something new, a fresh start, a challenge to embrace, a moment that matters. And through it all, Queensboro is here. From growing your business to managing your personal finances, we're here to guide you. With every step forward, we're here to take it with you. From our friends and neighbors all across Georgia, Queensboro National Bank and Trust is here in your community for you. Whatever you need to get where you're going, we're here for it.
Right now at Gerald.
And we're back taking a look at a live look outside of our studios, Grovetown, I-20. Definitely notice some beautiful sky conditions in both places, and it's going to be a beautiful evening for any outdoor plans that you may have. A cold front starts to work closer towards the region by the beginning of next week, but high pressure does keep us mostly dry for a lot of this weekend. Green Jackets baseball going on tonight, and first pitch here coming up in a little over an hour. We're looking at temperatures in the 80s around game time, so it'll be a warm evening out there, and we'll see those evening temperatures moving into the 60s for tonight, 50s by tomorrow morning, upper 50s though to near 60s, so it'll be a pretty cool feel, but nothing too chilly out there for the start of our Saturday. And then we're looking at high temperatures for tomorrow in the upper 80s, so definitely a little bit of a taste of summer, maybe able to get an early preview of the pool as you head towards the weekend. But Easter Sunday, we're keeping the forecast hot, a little bit more cloud cover, but looking at conditions staying dry. So temperatures in the upper 80s as we head towards then. And that 7-day forecast does stay pretty hot into next week. Also looking at the chance for some storms by the middle of next week, too.
Yeah, and remember, the first 1,000 people at SRP Park get an azalea blanket. And they're going to be wearing their azalea jerseys. Some cool stuff today. Anyway, that's it for us at 5 o'clock. Zaina's up next with News 12 at 6 o'clock. Don't go anywhere.
Introducing the First Alert Radar Network.
With up to 10 times the resolution of other local radars and technology that can pinpoint right down to your street.
First just got faster. When it's time for a new...
New in the last hour, the coroner has identified the body that was found in a wooded area of Richmond County yesterday. Just in the last 20 minutes, we learned the victim is 32-year-old Devon Shade of Augusta. His body was found in a wooded area of McNutt Road, which you can see on your screen is a fairly secluded and sparsely populated area. An autopsy is scheduled to learn more, but we do know deputies are investigating Shade's death as suspicious. A battle between a local business and the sheriff's office this week. This is body camera footage from Richmond County deputies at Tiffany's Eatery on Broad Street. This week, Richmond County deputies argued for Tiffany's to have its liquor license examined over allegations that it's acting more like an unregistered nightclub. The sheriff's argues big crowds like these past 2 a.m. encourage unruly behavior and risk public safety. Your City Hood joins us live from downtown Augusta now. In Sydney, the sheriff's office says they're just trying to keep people safe.
Well, the sheriff's office says more foot traffic is welcome downtown. In fact, that's what keeps downtown alive. But as we head into the summer months and you've got more people out and about, the sheriff's office says they are prepared for anything.
At Tip Top Taps,
linger and lager and welcome.
The walls beam with pride.
They came to me in the middle of the night one night. I wanted to build a place that I would be able to bring my family to.
He wants to see the foot traffic outside. Business owner or not, most can agree with that.
Obviously, you're going to get a lot more foot traffic on the sidewalks, and those that are going from business to business, whether it's restaurants or going to the bars, or if we have some type of festivals or events going on at the Commons.
It's during the late hours deputies are eyeballing more foot traffic. This body camera video is an example.
What happens is you have an overflow on the sidewalks, and then just one argument or someone bumps into someone can turn into a verbal argument, and then it escalates into a physical argument. And our job and our goal is to make sure we can get there before there's any type of gunfire or any type of violent crime that may occur.
So their message to you?
We want everyone to have a good time, enjoy the food, the drinks, the festivals, and then go home. Come down and do that. But those that make the decision to participate in any type of unlawful activity or any type of fighting, we will charge them accordingly and commit them to our jail.
The sheriff's office says they want people to feel safe downtown. That is their number one goal. And they say by increasing their manpower down here, that will help them achieve that.
And Sydney, what's the sheriff's office safety plan for this summer?
They'll be doubling up on patrol, they say. They have already got 2 patrolmen on foot per block, and they'll be doubling up on their marked and unmarked cars as well. But the sheriff's office tells me at the core of this is community policing, and that's something that Sheriff Brantley says has been a goal of his since taking office.
And certainly more deputies downtown will hopefully make a lot of people feel better. Thank you, Sydney, for staying on top of safety in our area for us. Giving life-saving training into the hands of everyday people like you and me. That's the goal of Columbia County's new CPR courses that will soon be available for the general public. Your Hallie Turner is live in the newsroom with more on why they're bringing this to our community. Hallie.
Well, it's all about the demand. Columbia County fire leaders say they've received hundreds of calls for people wanting to learn CPR. They're trying to meet the need. And firefighters are on the front lines of this. Starting next week, people can come to Columbia County Emergency Operations Center for free training on how to save a life. The 2-hour course offers training in chest compressions, mouth-to-mouth, mask resuscitation, and more. Classes offer additional training once a month throughout the year, along with 2 first aid courses. Classes will be taught by former Battalion Chief Robert Rozier. Rozier says when it comes down to it, knowing how to properly do CPR is the difference between life and death. And as a mom of athletes and a lacrosse coach herself, Kristen Schlegel says it's a situation she knows all too well.
These courses are strictly for our community citizens so that we can get more first responders per se out there in the field that can help save a loved one, save a stranger in a time of need, because it is so critical that CPR start immediately and that it is high quality CPR.
I can jump in and help. You want to think, it is scary to have to do, but once you've been trained, it kind of takes over itself, and you don't think about all the what ifs. It's what can I do? How can I help?
Again, the training on all of this comes to you at no cost. So if you want the official American Heart Association certificate, you'll have to pay $25, but that allows you to officially officially perform CPR on someone, and hey, it's good for 2 years.
And we've just shared how many stories at the right time, at the right place. That could be you needing to save someone else's life. And again, like you mentioned, Hallie, it's free. The best part is you don't have to be a Columbia County resident either in order to take these courses. For more dates and times on the trainings, we have all of the information on our website. Thanks, Hallie. We're taking you live now to Windsor Spring Road in Hepzibah, where Food Truck Family Friday just got underway. There are more than 30 food trucks and vendors out and about. In case you aren't in the mood for cooking tonight, guess what? Food's there ready for you. There's even a bounce house for the kids to burn some energy on. Today's event will go on till 9 o'clock tonight, so you have plenty of time to make it out there and see what's available for you and your family. But as you can see, a lot of good places to eat. Again, if you do not want to cook this Friday night, but that's taking place on Windsor Spring Road in Hepzibah. So you have plenty of time. Spring cleaning is upon us, and if you're looking to get rid of clothes, shoes, decor, or kitchen supplies, Goodwill is making it easy for you. They've added mobile donation trucks out in the community, and most recently at Dave & Buster's. They're finding solutions and coming to you, which in return supports their mission.
It's a truck that's hard to miss, especially when it's in the parking lot of Dave & Buster's.
The need for Goodwill services are growing and growing rapidly in this economy. We've seen a big need for our career services and education programs at Helms College growing as people are rethinking their careers, looking for new jobs, and really the donations are what fuels our mission.
And in order to get more donations, they're coming to you.
And it's really about, again, bringing the purpose and the play to the community. So people come here, they can donate, then they can go over and have some fun and relaxation at Dave & Buster's.
The Goodwill mobile truck operates like the storefronts drop off. You're greeted with employees ready to help.
I like it because I get to meet a lot of different people. And 99.9% of the people that come to the truck are very nice. They are polite. And instead of throwing their goods away, they feel good about having somewhere that they can do some good and bring it to the truck.
Every donation going right back into the community through every purchase made at a Goodwill store.
That money goes directly to funding Goodwill programs, services, education, jobs, scholarships right here in the community. And so as we're trying to be a convenient way for our community to support this mission by having these donation sites where they can access them as part of their daily routine, it's a win-win for everybody.
And you can donate smaller items at the Goodwill truck at Dave & Buster's every day from 11 to 6. Starting this weekend, if you donate there, you'll receive a coupon to use at Dave & Buster's. The official ribbon cutting is Monday at 11, and we have all the information on where you can find other mobile trucks across the CSRA on our website, wrdw.com. I actually use one myself, Mikkel. It comes in handy.
Time and Temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
I think it's just
Middle of next week.
Mikkel, this Sunday is Easter, and there are some events to celebrate it. Tomorrow, there will be a free Easter egg hunt at the Warren Road Community Center. That will go from 2 to 5, and there will be 10,000 eggs up for grabs. For a full list of events, you can scan this code right here on your screen with your phone. This takes you to wrdw.com, or you can search Easter on our website. You can take a step back in time at a 1950s themed restaurant right here in Augusta. Wrdw Deli opened up late last year on Lumpkin Road. Nick Proto takes us inside.
Russell Garrett has been in and out of kitchens his whole life. He spent 7 years working for a private catering company, and recently he found himself at an impasse for what to do next.
Kind of finding my way in life, doing a couple different things, and none of them really struck me as long-term things I wanted to do.
So he got back to his roots and opened up Wrdw Deli. The original plan was a food truck, but there were some complications there. So he changed course, moving to this space on Lumpkin Road.
And yeah, that was pretty hard. With every old building, there's a lot of challenges. We kept our head down and knocked it out.
The restaurant is a time capsule to what he calls simple times. A Pac-Man trash can, a hand-painted mural in the bathroom, and a giant Betty Boop statue with a chair for pictures.
People love Betty. You know, she's an icon in and of herself, so I had to have her.
Or if you'd rather stand, as you can see, that works too. The menu puts a modern spin on some classic foods. If you like pimento cheese or hot honey foods, this place is right up your alley.
Hot honey is one of my favorites. Making a sauce with it in there is just wonderful.
In Augusta, Nick Frodo on your side.
That looks amazing, and I'm hungry now. It's dinner time, right? Wrdw Deli is open Tuesday to Saturday from 11 to 3. You can check them out on Lumpkin Road. Listen up, theater fans. The Augusta Players have just announced their lineup for their 81st season. Its theme, the Girl Power season. Up first for the junior players, we've got Beetlejuice Jr., North Star, Imagine a Dragon, and Hadestown Teen Edition. On the main stage, we've got The Color Purple, Dr. Seuss, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Legally Blonde, and Once Upon a Mattress. Art Reach includes Schoolhouse Rock Live, A Charlie Brown Christmas Live, North Star, the world premiere of Head of the Clouds. And finally, for the Augusta Readers Theater, A Christmas Carol and Love Letters. This will also be the first season for the players in their new home on Ellis Street. You can expect to see more on that in the coming weeks. Coming up in sports, USC Aiken's men's golf team is fighting for its first Peach Belt title since 2018. Next, Joseph Doring tells you how the Pacers did on day one.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Create an oasis. PeachtreePools.com.
On your sideline, sponsored by Chandler Law Firm.
Limestone University has been around since the 1800s, and they added Division II football back in 2014. The Saints played their first home football game on turf back in 2022 against an uncertain financial future. Now the school's athletic department has disbanded, leaving local athletes from North Augusta all the way to Orangeburg, Wilkinson without a team. Alyssa Lyons has the story.
There's no sign-up sheet in college football. Recruiting takes hours, days, months, years. 15 athletes from the CSRA signed the dotted line to play for Limestone, making a dream a reality until reality felt like a dream.
Well, I found out a couple of days ago. I wrote through kind of the grapevine, and then I had a couple of guys who played for me here that called me and told me the situation, what was going on, and felt really bad for them.
Limestone University could be closing their doors, taking chances to play along with it.
Be hit with that this late in the game is, it's shocking.
Like Dean Hunt, who just played his freshman year.
So we're in the process now of trying to find him a new home. He's a tremendous young man, tremendous football player. So we're starting our recruiting process back over again.
Or the three war horses from Barnwell.
They've kind of put their heart and soul into for 2 years up into that program, and it advanced and was progressing really well.
They now find themselves once again with a pen in their hand, with an already crowded transfer portal and current seniors who already decided to be a Saint. Their futures now in purgatory.
Some of them already signed with Limestone, thinking they have a home for next year, and now in the end of April, beginning of May, when your senior year is almost over, and now you're trying to restart everything and trying to find a new home is tough. I hate it for everybody involved.
Toward the end of the semester, the good thing is there'll be some programs that are going to lose some of their kids on their roster, so they'll have a chance maybe to fit into those programs, fill those rosters, and have a chance to prove themselves.
Alyssa Lyons on your side.
Tough story, but we really hope everybody finds a good landing spot up there at Limestone University. Thanks, Alyssa. Back here in Augusta, round one of the Peach Belt Men's Golf Championship has concluded. 8 teams going head-to-head at Forest Hills Golf Club. USC Aiken seeking its first conference title since 2018, and a great day one finish could help them get there. All Peach Belt Conference golfer Eric Olin had the best round of any Pacer today. He fired a nice 3-under round of 69, giving Coach Michael Carlisle's team some momentum heading into round 2.
We played pretty steady. Our game's kind of coming together. Our scores are pretty consistent. Carl Frisk, one of our better players, had a few bumps in the road today, but he's made of the right stuff. He'll bounce back tomorrow and have a good round tomorrow. I have all the confidence in him and the rest of the team, too. I think you'll see them continue to improve, getting used to the conditions over here for the rest of the week.
USC Aiken currently sits in second place in the tournament, trailing USC Buford by 7 shots and leading North Georgia by 5 shots.
All right, thanks for that, Joseph. Wearing a life jacket and knowing how to swim are one of the first things we think of when it comes to water safety. But what's in the water can play a big factor, too. Your First Alert meteorologist, Emily Acton, shows us how water is tested across the CSRA to keep you safe.
kayaking along the Savannah River is a staple for Augusta residents and visitors. With summer quickly approaching, it's important to know how to have fun safely. Steve and Leslie Wright from Savannah Rapids Kayak Rental have some do's and don'ts before heading out on the water.
Don't get near the banks, anything that's down and stay away from, just basically stay in the middle.
They also recommend going with a guide if you are inexperienced or just a little nervous about kayaking.
The rapids are can be kind of tricky, so we have a guide. If it's a big enough group, we'll have a couple of guides go with you, one in the front, one in the back.
Some other safety tips are always wear a life jacket, pack water for your trip, know your route, and check the forecast before you leave.
Rain, obviously, thunderstorms. Some people won't go out if it's raining a little bit. I check the radar constantly.
For an easy way to track the radar, you can always download our First Alert weather app. In Augusta, Emily Acton on your side.
And we apologize, that was actually the wrong story, but we do have more information on water safety that we'll hopefully share with you next week, so stay tuned for that. Mikkel.
Appreciate that, Zayna. Some good news, though, is that we do have the right things to talk about here with our 3-degree guarantee. We hit it again. Within 1 degree, our forecast was 86, actual high 85. So another $50 going towards the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Augusta, a great organization. We'll talk more about your forecast for Easter weekend coming up.
Trust Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale for your First Alert.
Get in. Let's draw. The look of your kitchen leaving you depressed? Don't stress. Call Southern Swag. The pros at Southern Swag can repaint your cabinets, giving your kitchen a whole new look. They will remove your cabinet doors, prep, repaint, and reinstall, with most jobs starting as low as $23.95. And the best part is, they will work around you, so you can still use your kitchen.
Let us transform your kitchen. Call us today for a free estimate.
So call Southern Swag today, 706-294-0244.
We're back taking a look at your 7-day forecast, just talking about temperatures in the upper 80s as we continue towards the weekend. Also looking at storm chances moving in as we head towards the middle of next week, but mornings near 60 as we continue towards next week as well. So a lot warmer, temperatures running above average all next week.
Okay, not too bad. Thanks, Mikkel. We're back live on 26 News at 7, and then join us back on News 12 at 10 and 11 o'clock. Have a happy Easter.